many choices. It's that time of year, you're getting ready to start to get out and mow. Your mower just won't start, you know? It's pretty well done. So you gotta get out and decide what mower do you want. There's a wealth of mowers out there, a lot of different types. Do you stick with the common gas mower with a pull start? Do you look at a gas mower with an electric start? Or maybe even you wanna go green and get an electric mower? Or maybe perhaps a reel mower that you push and the only power that's needed is you pushing the mower. These are all the choices that we're gonna cover today to make sure you make the right choice when you choose that mower for this growing season. The first thing you have to consider when you're choosing a mower is to recycle or not to recycle. Obviously, we're going to recommend using a mulching type mower, and there's a wealth of options out there, but first and foremost, we want to make sure that you buy a mower that has the capacity to mulch. The second critical decision is how big a motor do you want? But the question is how much power do you need? We strongly recommend you consider at least 5.5 horsepower. And if you're getting a mulching unit, that's definitely a minimum amount of horsepower you need. If you go lower, the mower drops down in price, but it's often not enough to sustain the mower for a long duration. And also it's going to not cut the lawn as effectively as a higher horsepower motor. The third question you have to ask is, do I want a self-propelled mower or do I want to push it? Multiple options are available. There are just simply the push behinds. And remember, if you buy a bigger motor and a heavier deck, it's going to be harder to push around. But if you want the exercise, that is indeed an option. Priced up a little bit from that are the ones that have a little bit of a transmission in them. You set them on a gear and they kind of pull you around the yard as you mow. And finally, there's what's called personal pace mowers, which the pressure you put on the handle results in the speed, and the walking speed that you walk will dictate how fast the mower goes. Those are really very handy and a really nice touch to have, because as you get closer to obstacles and other things, by releasing on that, you can slow down. So I really like the personal pace option, but it's really up to you to decide which one you're willing to do when you're pushing your mower around the yard. Up until now, we've confined our discussion to gas-powered mowers. Obviously, electric mowers are now available, really nice cordless units, which will lend themselves to quieter mowing, and they can be fairly efficient. Make sure you power up with those particular units. And then finally, do it the old-fashioned way. Consider the old push-type mowers that have no motor on them whatsoever. It's definitely the greenest way to go, and does result in a fairly significant amount of exercise when you push the mower around the yard. The last thing we need to discuss is mowing height. The settings on the mower don't necessarily correspond to inches or whatever. They're a sequence of letters or a sequence of numbers. So how are we going to measure it? Well, the first thing you want to do is reach up under the deck and see how far the blade is from the bottom of the mower deck. Generally, it's going to be anywhere from 1/2 to 3/8 of an inch. That you need to add that to then the distance that the deck rises above off the concrete surface. You add those two together, and at that point in time, that's what your mower is set on. So then you mess around with the settings a little bit. You got a little notepad next to you. You write down the settings as you do them, and then you've got a permanent record of the mowing height for your particular mower.